They are unique places to feed the mind in exciting, interactive, insightful, and intelligent ways. Visitors to art museums leave with a broader perspective of the world, our history, and the human spirit. Artists and art enthusiasts agree. Art responds to the search for meaning in our lives, past, present, and future, and learning to see through the eyes of an artist enriches every aspect of your life.
Art is really a part of our everyday life, and the museum provides a center for people to really get close to art, to be able to get into the process of the artist himself or herself, to learn to see maybe a little beyond the surface, to relate what we see to our own experiences and the experiences of others. Art shows us about different worlds and different emotions and really brings us into a sense of humanity that we can't reach in other ways.
Located in suburban Chicago, this is Elmhurst Art Museum, a small museum with a big reputation. The museum galleries, Mies van der Rohe's McCormick House and Education Center enrich people's lives by deepening their knowledge of art, architecture, and design, increase their understanding of the relevance of visual art in our society, and sparking the development of individual creativity.
The mission of the Elmhurst Art Museum is to be a center for the arts of our time. The museum was founded in the best of all ways. It was founded by the community and by a community of artists. And their goal was really to have a center for the arts to be viewed and for art to be made. Elmhurst Art Museum has many beautiful spaces. In fact, it's hard to imagine how lovely this museum is. When you walk in the front doors, the first gallery is spacious and bright, large and lit by huge windows that open onto a very beautiful park. So it immediately has a feeling of closeness to nature, and it's very welcoming.
Acquired in 1991, this is the McCormick House, designed by architect and educator Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. A museum within the museum, it is one of only 3 Mies-designed residences built in the United States. Constructed in steel and aluminum, glass and wood, the house captures the aesthetic promise of America's vast industrial capacity and post-war refocus on domestic consumption after a decade of wartime production.
The house is inspirational in that it is part of the evolving work product of Mies van der Rohe, a major figure in 20th century architecture. It's a unique piece of residential design even for him. It became, for us in the office, both a major responsibility and a major opportunity to explore some really interesting design themes around building a museum that incorporated this house. At the same time, the house was perhaps the first and most significant acquisition of the museum. So it was both a series of spaces that could accommodate programming, exhibitions, other sorts of events, and an artifact in and of itself that needed to be maintained and supported in conservation terms, not just curatorial terms.
Elmhurst Art Museum also serves as a forum to share and develop the language of self-expression and creativity through exhibitions, artist-taught classes and workshops, public programs, and community events.
For us, education and exhibitions are really connected deeply, and we have an education center, an art education center, which was just renovated and has several large, bright studio classrooms. All of our teachers are teaching artists, so they are professional artists and they also are trained teachers, which means that the kind of activities, the projects, the learning that takes place is really the highest caliber and the most creative that I've seen in a very long time.
Art enriches our lives as individuals. Understanding art in its many forms gives a person added perspective and directly affects how one views every aspect of their life.
I'm happy to see it grow and continue to do what its mission has wanted it to do, that it provides intellectual stimulation, beauty, programs, exhibits here. I really am enjoying seeing that continuing. The space is perfect for the exhibit of art, and the setting is perfect also. This building is a jewel in the center of Elmhurst.
Our goal is really to have people come here again and again. We don't just want people to come once a year because it's the time to come to the Elmhurst Art Museum. We really want people to begin to think of the museum as a center and a place for them to call home. Like any good institution, the museum evolves, and we really are always pursuing ways to engage our public. And for example, one of our plans is to have regular residencies with artists so that our visitors are engaged and there's an interactivity between the art on the walls and the people who come to see it and to really understand what the artist is thinking. We want people to take away maybe a new perspective on both viewing art and a new perspective on the world that we live in and on how they feel within this world. To say that art changes lives is, of course, a cliche, but we want to make that true, and I think we do at the Elmhurst Art Museum.
For an unforgettable experience, make your plans today to visit Elmhurst Art Museum, a place to imagine, create, and embrace art. For more information, go to elmhurstartmuseum.org or call the number on your screen.